Hey coaches, when you're in a coaching session, your primary tools of the trade are going to be your powerful questions and your active listening. And couple that with a clear structure that you co-design through the setting of the stage, the agreement, and landing the plane very well as you create action and plans and accountability. And when you put all of those things together, you have a very strong coaching approach. But sometimes you need more. Sometimes you need just that little bit of direct conversation, offering clear statements as observations, intuitions, challenges, and so on. And that is a part of the coaching process. We're going to be taking a look at a subset of the competencies and markers today as we look at how a coach offers these statements and still maintains a sense of partnership and not taking over the coaching conversation. Let's start by looking at one of the competencies, evoking awareness, in marker 7.5, PCC marker 7.5 for evoking awareness, is that the coach shares with no attachment to being right, no attachment to this being the right direction. The coach shares observations, intuitions, comments, challenges, sometimes suggestions of tools and resources, thoughts, feelings. And in all of these, the coach invites the client's exploration, their input, through verbal and sometimes tonal indicators. On the client side, they are giving us direction through the agenda setting. Through their responses, they are exploring. They're having a better sense of what the real challenge or opportunity is for them or how they want to grow. On the coach side, we mainly do use questions. We use active listening, and we also use these statements. But anytime we offer some form of direction, some form of direct challenge or a statement, we need to cultivate that partnership around that moment. Because when we step in, it makes it so easy for two things to happen. Number one, for the client to step back and allow this other person, the coach, this expert, the person who knows what's going on and how to play the game of coaching, we can just let that coach take over. And as a client, it can feel a little bit nice to not have to have the spotlight on themselves for that moment. And the more a coach does a statement, and doesn't really partner around it, hand it off, you look at assessments and you see the client is doing less and less talking, and the coach is having to provide more and more value and direction for the session, and it feels very much like a coach-driven session afterwards. And that's the second challenge of offering these statements without partnership, is that the coach, and once the coach begins the process of giving some guidance, giving some direction, it's very easy to keep that hat on. And that hat becomes this position of authority or expertise or advice giving, and not really coaching. So these moments of offering a statement has to be coupled with the process of partnership. So let's take a look at a couple more PCC markers that help unpack this further. Marker 4.4, the coach partners with the client by inviting the client to respond in any way to the coach's contributions and accepts the client's response. 6.1, the coach's questions and observations are customized by using what the coach has learned about the client, who they are, their situation. Whatever we're sharing, whatever we're saying, sounds more like the client than us, because we don't want to take over the session. We want it to be their session, even as we offer these direct statements. The coach succinctly reflects or summarizes what the client's communicated to ensure the client's clarity and understanding. I lump the idea of paraphrasing, summarizing, mirroring into the use of these statements with partnership, because even if we go word for word and say exactly what they said, it's so important for us not to just be the mirror, but also to hand that experience back to them, to say, hey, what I heard you say was blank. What do you think of that? What is it like hearing your words played back? Or if I'm paraphrasing, how close is that to what you were communicating? And so on. So anytime we're sharing, anytime we're stepping into this position of offering a statement, we offer what we want to say quickly, and then we hand it back with an open question. And again, that brings us to marker 7.5. The coach shares with no attachment these observations, intuitions, challenges, and so on. So from the coaching perspective, we have a lot of these resources at our disposal: coaching questions, active listening to provide space, the structure of a coaching session, and these statements that we offer in partnership. And you can offer a variety of things, but every time you make one of these statements, every time you insert yourself in this direct way, know that it comes with a cost. And the best way to avoid paying the price of taking over the session, taking it away from the client, in order to avoid that, you need to hand these things back. Offer this challenge. Hey, may I challenge you? Here's the challenge. What are your thoughts? As you were talking, I want to make an observation. You were laughing at the beginning of everything you just shared, and then you got really somber at the end, or really quiet. What happened for you as you were talking? And so on. Anytime we step in, even with the tool suggestion, even with an acknowledgement, it's great to hand it openly back to the client to allow them to openly respond and interpret that statement in full partnership with the coach. I hope this is helpful, giving you an extra tool in your tool belt. Just use it well. You want it to serve your client and not take their control away from them. Thank you for coaching.